chat. Okay, the meeting is being recorded for role-play listening, speaking, and pronunciation for low-tech learners. And going back to my PowerPoint, this is a reminder of how we're going to play our role as a low-tech English language learner in the first part with a few props. All right, so how about this? If my moderator will let people in, because they're all such nice people, that would be helpful. Who's doing that? Is it Barb or Win? Or both of you?
It's Win, but I'm here, so I can assist too, Marsha. Let us know.
Okay. Alrighty, right. Alrighty, Root. So
sorry, I was getting supplies.
No problem. Could you please find your chat bubble and open up your chat panel and write in your in the chat box your real name and your school and add, I am playing the role of, and then give a name and a description of somebody you know, a low-level, low-tech ESL student. Let's see who's here in our role play today. So if you can say the name of your student and maybe a little bit about that person that you can imagine or you know, that would be helpful for us to figure that out when we're role playing with each other. And people will be coming in. And I hope they'll see what I've got on the screen. And if you can take your piece of paper and a big marker, or if you have a card, you could also write that same name on a card. Good, I have some good descriptions here. People, where they're from, their education, their smartphone skills, what level they're in. All right, so name and description. Who are you playing the role of? Now, either hold it up below your chin, or you can clip it or pin it to your shirt so you can use your hands for something else. So now I'm going to go into my level 1 teacher voice, and I'll be slowing down. This is not my teacher voice, it's my teacher of low-level class. Welcome to ESL class. We're learning how to study, how to learn English using Zoom, the video conferencing, so I can see you and you can see me. When you come into the room, you may see a black screen with your name on it or your friend's name. You may see a photo. So some people have a black screen. Some people have a photo. What's the difference? If you're new, you might just have a black screen. Maybe black screen name. Some people know how to put the photo in the Zoom, and the photo shows up here. Now, please look in the corner, the lower left side. There are 2 important icons, pictures. One looks like a microphone, la 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 la, microphone to make sound. That shows us here in the far left corner, bottom left corner. Then we have a camera. It's a video camera. If you see slash, red slash, that means the microphone is off. Maybe you see someone's mouth moving, but you can't hear because the microphone is off or muted. So we see microphone is muted. Muted means not on. You see slash through the video camera. The video camera is off. Now look at this icon. No slash. The video camera is on. You can see a person, me. You can click unmute here. Unmute means turn on the microphone, and then you can hear and see me. The microphone is on. It is unmuted. I'm showing you the audio and video icons. Here, microphone is off, has red slash, and the video camera is off. Click Start Video, and then the video camera is on. Click Unmute, and the microphone is on. Now let's practice with partners. Please call someone by name and say, please mute your microphone, or short, mute your mic. We will also say, unmute your mic. Click Start Video. Click Stop Video. We can say, turn on your mic, turn off your mic, turn on your video, turn off your video. Let's practice together. Listen and repeat after me. Mute your microphone.
Mute your microphone.
Mute your mic.
Unmute your mic.
Mute your mic.
Mic.
Click Start Video.
Click
Start
Video.
Click Stop Video.
Click
Video.
video.
Look at your chat panel.
Look at your chat panel.
I'm going to type. I'm going to
I'm
type.
going
All right,
type.
so listen.
Type.
Listen. Look in your chat panel. Look in your chat panel. Can you see the sentences? These sentences.
我睇唔到嘅，我睇唔到嘅，
In
我
the
睇
chat.
唔到嘅，
睇唔到嘅。
睇唔到嘅。
Look, find chat. Click. Click chat. Open and look. Read the sentences. Read the sentences in chat box. Okay? Now, let's try breakout groups. I send you to another room. You talk with classmates. Watch. I send you, go to breakout room 3. You click join, join, join. Let's try.
Join.
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 我好麻煩嘅。
Si Hala?
Hi.
Hi.
So are we practicing
Sentences mute,
a mute?
unmute. Click, start video. Click, stop video. Call someone. Marisol, please mute your mic.
Teacher mute?
Mute. Turn off. Good. Unmute your mic. Unmute. Very good. Your turn.
Click what? Oh, unclick.
Dory, mute. Dory, mute.
Mute. Mute. Okay, but I'm Mei Lee. Mei Lee.
Name, two name. One name on paper, one name computer.
Okay. Jose. Jose. Unmute. Unmute. Jose.
Jesus.
Teacher, talk but no sound.
Jesus.
Teacher is here, but no sound.
Teacher, click.
Teacher, no sound.
Unmute.
I hear you.
Unmute.
No sound?
Rosalinda, unmute
Unmute your mic.
your mic.
Unmute.
Yay.
Unmute.
No se oye.
My battery died and I lost my group.
Oh, well, we will need to put you back in. Let's see what we can do
I
about it.
was in group 1.
Okay,
Now I know what happens if that happens.
good, good.
No face. Stop face.
Stop face.
Click start video. Click start video. Toshiko, please start video.
Here we go.
Yes, good. Your turn.
My turn. Laiha, unmute your mic.
Okay. So, Lindsay,
Yes.
can you mute your mic? Can you stop your video? Can you turn on your mic?
Teacher's here.
Hi, Marsha.
Hi, Marsha. Hi, teacher. Hi, teacher.
Ricardo, mute your mic. Oh, turn on your video, Ricardo. Unmute your mic, Ricardo. Good job. Your turn. Okay. Thank you, class. Now we are going to do something different. We're going to talk about directions. And drawing. Do you have paper?
Oh.
Well,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
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 you have paper. Oh, good. Do you have a marker?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Marker. Let's look at directions. Can you see my screen? Do you see my paper?
Yes.
On the screen, I'm moving my paper on the screen. This side is the left side. Left, left,
Left.
left, left.
Left.
This is right, the right side. Right,
Light,
right,
light,
right.
light.
This is the top, top,
Top.
top. This is the bottom,
Bottom.
bottom.
Bob.
Bottom.
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 This is a corner. This part here,
Corner.
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 there are four corners. One,
Four. Corner.
Four corners.
3 corners.
four. Corner, corner,
Corner.
corner, corner.
Corner. Corner.
Oh,
This is the
En
top
la esquina.
left corner. The top left corner.
Top left. Left.
left. Corner.
Top
Up, left.
Corner.
corner. This is the top right corner.
Top right corner.
Top right corner.
Corner.
Right corner.
Up, right.
This
corner.
is the bottom left
Bottom.
corner.
Bottom
Bottom.
left
Left
corner.
Bottom
corner.
Mom, left.
left corner.
Bottom
This is
left
the
corner.
bottom
Left corner.
right
Bottom right
corner.
corner.
Bottom right corner. Which corner is this, class? Which corner is this?
Top
Top.
Right.
corner.
Top right corner.
Top right corner. Which corner is this, class?
Top. Left. Left.
Top
Left corner.
left corner. How about this one? What is this?
Bottom. Left corner.
Left
Left
corner.
corner.
Bottom.
What is
Left
this?
corner.
Left.
Left.
What is this one?
Right.
Light. Light corner.
Right
Right
corner.
Right
corner.
corner.
Bottom.
This is the middle of the page. The middle
Middle.
of the
Middle of the
page. Middle.
page.
Middle. It's the middle of the page.
Middle.
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 Okay, let's look at some shapes. Here are some shapes. This one is who knows this one? What is this called?
Round.
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 Round. What is the name? Who knows the name?
Circle.
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 Who knows this one?
Circle.
What is this shape called?
Box.
Boxy. Boxy.
Looks like a box.
Boxy.
Some boxes look like
Boxy.
this. It has
Boxy.
another name. What do we call the shape? The shape name. Have you heard square?
Where?
Square.
Square.
Squirrel.
Square.
Square. See.
Square. Square.
Square.
Get.
This one is a circle,
Circle.
and this one
Circle.
is a square.
Squirrel.
See.
Square.
There.
Which one is this one? Does anybody know?
Triangle.
Triangle.
Right.
Triangle.
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 triangle,
Triangle.
Which one is this?
triangle,
This one? This is a
Okay.
square.
Square.
This one is a
Triangle.
triangle,
Is this a square?
no,
Square.
What is it?
Sure.
It's a
Circle.
circle. Is this a
Circle.
circle?
No.
No.
Yes.
This is a, who knows?
Triangle.
What is it?
Triangle.
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 What is this?
boxy,
Another box.
boxy,
Another box. It has a name. It's called a rectangle.
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 rectangle,
This is a rectangle.
Tanga.
Is this a rectangle?
no,
No. Is it a circle?
Yes.
Yes. Is this a circle?
no,
Is it
No.
a rectangle?
Rectangular.
It's a rectangle. Okay. What about this?
A line.
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 line,
Line.
line,
Line.
line,
And what about this one?
Estrella.
cita,
Ella, ¿cómo se dice eso en inglés?
cita,
Ah.
cita,
Star. Is this a star?
Star.
No, it's not.
It's
No.
not. No, it's not. What is it?
line,
Triangle.
A triangle. What is this one?
Star.
Star.
cita,
Do you want to see how we write the words? Like that. Now, can you match the words to the shape? This one says square. Square. Which one is a square? Can you tell me where to put the square? Here? Yes or no?
No.
no,
Here, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
yes,
Okay, thank you. This is a line. Line. Is this good here?
Lion.
Yes.
Is this good here?
yes,
Yes.
No.
Yes?
No.
No? Okay, no. Let's go. Is it good here?
No.
Is
no,
it good here?
Where?
yes,
Yes.
Here? This is a line?
yes,
Maybe.
Yes.
Three line.
Maybe. No, not the line. How about this one? Is this a line?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a line. What is this one?
Triangle.
Triangle.
Triangle. Yeah.
How
Three.
about here? Good?
No.
No.
No? How about here?
No.
How about this one's busy? Let's go to the next one. Is this one triangle?
Yes.
That works. Yay! Triangle. Okay, what about this one? Rectangle. Here?
Yes.
Good.
No.
Yes.
Excuse me.
That.
Hello.
Teacher, too much noise.
Not too much noise.
Coughing. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
No. Telephone.
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 I'm coughing. I'm coughing.
Telephone.
Telephone. I'm sorry. I'm busy. I'm teaching. Talk to me later. Okay? So, star. Where do we go star? Here?
No.
Star here?
Yes.
Is this good?
Yes.
Star here. Uh-oh. Let's change this word. Can I change this to what? What is missing? What is missing?
much noise.
Very noisy. You too noisy for me. Bye-bye. Tell me which one is missing. Which word is missing?
Taka.
What is this called?
Circa.
Circle? Okay. Does anybody know how to write circle? I will write it for you, but I'm going to move circle. Well, first I'll write circle like that. Ooh. Let's see. Circle here, and then I can put it there. Is that good?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so we have what? A circle,
Circle.
square,
Square.
a triangle,
Triangle.
a rectangle,
Rectangle.
a line,
Line.
and a star.
Star.
How about if we change the place? Move them. Now, do you know the things? Do you still know them? The shapes? What is this?
Star.
This one? Star? Maybe not star.
Triangle.
How about
Line.
triangle? Yes. Well, we will practice with that. And then, you know what? We're going to have you draw. You have some things, book, pen, paper. Show me your paper. Okay. Show me your marker, your pen. Draw. Draw something.
Draw.
Where? In the middle of the paper, in the top right corner, in the bottom right corner. Let's try. So you remember, if I say draw a circle in the top left corner, maybe it will look like this. Does that look good? Does that look like top left corner?
Yes.
So now show me your picture. Top left corner, do you have a circle? Check. All right. Draw a star in the bottom right corner. Draw a star in the bottom right corner. Draw a star in the bottom right corner. Does it look like this? Draw a square in the top right corner. Draw a square in the top right corner. Show me what it looks like. How does it look? Does it look like this? Okay, now you practice with your friends. Practice with your friends. Breakout groups. When you receive invitation, please click join.
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 Then
Hi,
you tell your friends, please draw and tell where. Then show your picture.
Join.
Join the breakout room, please.
To do too.
Hi,
Yeah.
teacher.
Marsha.
Hey, Marsha.
Hello. How
Hello.
are you doing?
Good.
We're good. Thank you.
Are you staying in role or have you stepped out?
We stepped out and back in.
Briefly out.
All right.
So we decided it's better if one person gives a direction to the whole group and everybody in the end has the same.
Yes. Yes. That's good.
Kind of hard to remember like who has what on their paper.
So one paper, one per direction giver would be a good way to do it.
One direction giver.
So like it's my turn to give, or you take turns giving one direction on the same.
Yeah.
Okay, that's another way to do it.
All right. And then in the end, we all compare
Yes.
and we're all the same.
Very nice. And depending on how the students' levels are, you can introduce more and more vocabulary, right?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Now let's do some TPR, total physical response, where we work on vocabulary, new words, and listening, pronunciation, and sentences, making sentences. Do you have all of these things? I asked you to bring them to class today. Please show me your cup. Hold up your cup. I want to see everybody's cup. I'm going to put gallery view on so I can see all the cups that we have in class today. Let's see all the cups. Everybody's cup. Let's go to the next item. Let's look at a bowl. Who's got a bowl? Show me your bowl. Everybody hold up your bowl. Your bowl. Oh, big bowls, small bowls, red bowls, green bowls, red bowls and blue bowls and all kinds of very shallow bowls and deep bowls. Very nice. Okay, what else? Do you have a ball? Here's my ball. Show me your ball. Oh, small balls and big balls. Colorful balls and orange balls, yellow balls, blue balls, balls that look like a globe, soccer ball. All right. What else did I ask you to bring? A cap? Do you have a cap? I put on my cap. Can you put on your cap? Put on your cap. Let me see what kind of caps we have. Cap? All right, some of us have big caps, small caps, green caps, red caps, white caps, and we have, so I'm going to take off my cap. This is a cup. This is a cup. Watch my mouth, listen carefully, and practice with me. Cup.
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 This is a cup.
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 This is a cup.
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 Listen carefully. Look at my mouth. This is a cap.
Cap.
Cup.
Cap.
Cup.
Cat. Cat. Cat.
Cap.
Cup.
Cap.
Cap.
This is a cap.
Cup.
Cap.
Cup.
Is this a cap? Is this a cap?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
Is this a cap? Show me with your head. Yes? No. No, this is not a cap. Is this a cup? Is this a cup?
No.
Yes, this is a cup. Is this a cap? Is this a cap?
Cap.
Yes.
Cap.
Is this a cup?
Cup.
Is this a cup?
Cup.
No. Which one is blue? The cap or the cup? Which one is blue? The cap or the cup?
Blue.
Cup.
Which one is blue? The cap or the cup?
Cup.
The cup. The cup is blue. The cup is blue. Which one is red? The cap or the cup? Which one is red? The cap or the cup?
Cap.
Pink.
The cap is red. The
Red.
cap is red.
Red.
Cap.
Cap. Red.
Okay, put down the cap, put down the cup. This is my ball. Watch my mouth, watch my tongue, watch my mouth, watch my tongue, watch my lips. Ball.
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 Oh.
This is a ball. What kind of ball is this? Do you know? Is it a
Yellow.
basketball? Is it a tennis ball? Is it a soccer ball?
Tennis.
Tennis ball.
Tennis ball.
It's a tennis ball. Who plays tennis? Raise your hand if you play tennis. Oh, look how many classmates play tennis. You may use my ball. This one is a bowl. Watch my mouth. Watch my lips. Watch my tongue. Bowl. This is a bowl.
Ball.
This is a bowl. This is a bowl.
This is a
This is a bowl.
bowl.
I have two things.
Bowl.
Which one is white? The ball or the bowl? Which one is white? The ball or the bowl?
No.
Which one is white?
Bowl.
The bowl.
Ball.
The bowl is white. The bowl is white. Which one is yellow? Which one is yellow? The ball or the bowl? The ball or the bowl? Which one is yellow?
Ball.
The ball.
Oh.
All right, now you pick up your ball. Your ball, maybe your ball is not yellow. Do you know the color of your ball?
Yes.
What color is your ball? You can say, my ball is yellow, or tell me the color. Tell us the color.
My ball is multicolor.
My ball.
Oh, yes.
My
Go
ball
ahead.
is orange.
Mhm. Orange,
My ball is yellow and orange.
yellow, and orange.
My ball is yellow.
Mhm.
My ball is cucumber.
Cucumber. Cucumber color. Which one is cucumber color?
Cucumber.
Mm.
It's a cucumber.
Mm. Mm.
Cucumber.
How about your bowl? Can you show us your bowl? What color is your bowl?
White.
My bowl is white.
White.
Mm.
Blue.
White.
Mm.
Blue, white.
Okay, I see somebody with a big green bowl. Who's that?
Carolyn.
All right. Put the ball in the bowl. Put the ball in the bowl. Put the ball in the bowl. My ball is small. I can put my ball in the bowl. Some have a big ball. Carolyn has a big ball. He's trying very hard. All right, watch. Put the bowl on the ball. Put the bowl on the ball. Maybe like this? Is that okay? The ball is under the bowl. The bowl is on the ball. Or like this. The bowl is on the ball, right? Okay. Put the ball in the cup. Put the ball in the cup. In the cup. In the cup. Ding! My ball is in the cup. Is the ball in the cup or the cap?
Big.
Ball in the cup or the cap? My ball is in the
Cup.
cup. All right. Put the cap on the cup. Put the cap on the cup. Put the cap on the cup. Now, you practice with a partner. Practice with your friends. Breakout rooms. You can go to breakout rooms and practice with your friends.
And especially if those of us who are visually impaired, you know, like I am, plus I have a hard time hearing, but we were talking about how hard it is to see.
Yeah.
You know, especially when it's the gallery view and the small squares.
Yeah.
Are they
Okay.
on there?
Please bring
Always-
that
Oh,
up.
you could go ball. Ball.
Doesn't the student always have the option of double clicking on
So,
the small picture to get the
I
full
think
screen?
that one of the things we need to do is talk about that. It's an important question. There is an answer for it, and we should talk about it in the Q&A teacher part because it's really important.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks.
Okay.
Ball.
No
Ball.
ball, no ball.
Okay. Ball. Ball.
Oh.
Say.
To do that.
Teacher.
Yeah.
Teacher is here.
Hi, teacher.
Hi, teacher.
Hi.
Teacher is muted.
We forgot words.
Hello, Rosalinda.
We forgot words.
Mm.
No words.
Ball.
Ball.
Actually, Marsha, I have a question. At what point do you tell your students how to modify their screens so that they can see more of you and less of your slide?
Good question. We'll talk about that in part 2.
Okay.
Thank you for the question.
Cop. Cop.
Top.
Hat.
Very simple. Dwash Gorf. Dwash Gorf. Dwash Gorf. Dwash Gorf.
Ricardo's cool with his hat on backwards.
Hello, class. You're back. We will study more prepositions. We talked about in and on. The ball is in the box. Can you see the ball in the box? And the ball, oh, I missed the ball is, sorry, first one. The ball is on the box. The ball is in the box. The ball is under the box. The ball is in front of the box. The ball is near the box. The ball is next to the box. The ball is behind the box. The ball is between the boxes. The ball is above the box. Many places. Now that you've had several weeks of instruction, you're on to the next act. Well, what can we do?
Marsha, there were a couple of comments in chat. I don't know if you wanted to address those at the end or.
I will.
Okay.
I will. Good. I will address them. Now, with your group, you can practice more. Under, above, next to, and maybe between. Put the ball behind your cup. Can you show me? Put your ball behind your cup. Put the ball in front of your cup. Put the ball next to your cup. Put the ball above your cup. Put your ball below your cup. Many places you can practice with your group. We're going to skip that practice, but we're going to go on to another one. Let's take a look at parts of the body. Do you know the body? This is Emily. Emily is our friend, and we are going to look at Emily. Can you see can you see the picture of Emily? I'll make it bigger. Is this bigger? Can you see that? Here's Emily. Here are parts of her body in words at the top. Maybe you know. Show me your hand. Do you know hand? Where is Emily's hand? Emily's hand is number 4. Good. What about your nose? Do you know where your nose is? I know. My nose is here. Where's your nose? Smell with your nose. Where's Emily's nose? Emily's nose, we can look here. What number is this? 25. That's Emily's nose. Where's Emily's leg? Emily's leg. Is this Emily's leg? Emily's leg is number 9. All right. I'm going to fast forward into breakouts after supposing that you have learned, practice the vocabulary and the pronunciation. And you're now going to make some sentences. So I'm going to let you take a look at this object by putting it in the chat. This is something I will give you a link that you can then open up on your screen. If you go to your chat, you can click on the link, and you should get this page. Let me know if it works. All right. So I'm going to suppose that we have already practiced a bit in the teacher mode, and now it's time for practice. I want to show you ways that you can have sentence pattern practice at different levels. So if you look, we're going to practice call somebody's name, ask, where's Emily's ear? Emily's ear, that's number 20. That's right. Or try again. Repeat. Where's Emily's ear?
Where's Emily's ear?
Emily's ear. That's number 20. That's right.
Number 20.
Try again. Now let's look at the yellow one. What's number 2? Number 2? That's Emily's shoulder. That's right. Or try again. Let's look at the one in blue. Call somebody's name. Is number 16 Emily's knee or her elbow? Number 16 isn't Emily's knee. It's her elbow. That's right. Or, are you sure? Or, do you want to try again? Let's look at the conversation in pink. Call somebody's name. Number 9 isn't Emily's arm. Oh, sorry. Number 9 is Emily's arm, isn't it? No, it isn't. That's her leg. Her arm is number 3, isn't it? That's right. Her arm is number 3, and her leg is number 9. I'm going to take the conversation patterns and I will paste them into the chat panel so you and your partners can practice making sentences using the picture. Can you see them in chat? Conversation patterns 1, 2, 3, and 4. Did you receive them in the chat? All right, let's go to our breakouts.
David, are you sharing your screen or is that me?
Trying to, yeah.
You are, okay. Now I don't see the questions though. Okay, where are the questions?
So you still need to, oh.
Click on the chat.
Yes.
And then you should see the question patterns.
Yes.
Do they show up?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that was quick.
Hello.
Marsha, are you here?
I'm here.
We just wanted to see if you would come if we called
You did.
you. Yes.
And you are successful. I came when you rang the bell.
Yeah.
It says ask for help,
Yes.
and I came running.
Yeah, that's a great feature. So one of the, just to cue you up to the chat question, I think there were several concerns about so I just joined on my phone. So that's what one of the concerns was. Are you still there, Marsha?
I am here.
Yeah, so one of the concerns was like the body parts names, or maybe before another participant was concerned, just what would be the, I think it had to do with what handout or what you'd be showing on the screen and could students actually read, right? Like, so now I'm on my phone but what you're assuming is they have that book. Is that what you're assuming?
Remember I told you to bring your book to class?
Oh, okay, right, because this is low-tech learners and everybody has a book.
Everybody has
Yeah.
to have a book, or they don't have to. But I gave you the handout because we're doing a teacher training thing. But my students will have a book, and I will say, look at page.
Right, right.
Whatever it is, I can't see it, 54 or 64 or 65.
Yeah.
And then we will study this. But this is a good question. And I would like you to bring it up again in the Q&A section, okay? Because it's
I'll maybe
very
let, I've been doing way too much talking these past few days, but somebody else had the question too, so.
Sure.
If they don't, I'll bring it.
Excellent question. And we have an
Okay.
answer for that. Great. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess our concerns, probably me as a teacher, will be that my students won't have a book this first week. They may later on, but
Right.
definitely.
Okay, let's get into our teacher persona and talk about that in part 2, because that's what we're going to do next. Okay. So I appreciate your
Awesome.
questions.
Thank
you. We'll get there. Welcome back. People are coming back into the main room. Thank you, class. That's the end for today. We'll see you again next week. Bye-bye. Now,
bye-bye, teacher.
Loosen up, please, and get into your teacher persona, because I know you have lots of questions. And some of them were asked in the chat. Some of them were asked in small group. And I've asked everyone to raise them now, because it's a good time for us to talk teacher stuff. Well, first of all, can I ask you how you felt about trying to role play a low tech beginner student? How did it feel? Anybody want to unmute and just give us?
It was very comfortable for me because I consider myself rather low tech to begin with anyway. So it was very natural.
Thank you.
I didn't have to fake anything.
I felt like you have to use your native language a lot.
You have to use your native language a lot when you're, that's probably true, because you feel comfortable with it and you know how to say what you need to, especially when we're talking about adults, right? Because we have a lot of ideas. Okay. Any other feelings about how it was to do the role play part?
I want to teach, after this practice, I want to teach a low tech class.
Why?
It's
Why do
fun.
you say
It's
that?
really fun.
Why do you say that, Lynn?
Huh?
Why do you say that?
Because I taught high school, and I taught at Cal State University Extension. Those like college students. They're like essays and writing paragraphs. Those
So,
much higher level.
but you don't want to do that
A
writing
lot more
paragraphs
fun.
anymore? What did you do? Did you feel it was fun?
Yeah, I think it's a lot more fun.
Okay, more fun. All right.
Enjoy more.
Enjoy more. Okay. How about the rest of you? Anybody else want to say how you felt about doing?
Yes, can I?
I think
Nicole?
I was, yeah, sorry. I was role playing a student that I have that I think has virtually no English. And I think quite a few of my students would have been lost. So I'm sitting here trying to figure out how would I slow this down even more? Like I would need to really break down the lessons.
Yes.
Even more. And I'm wondering, where do I start? That's
Good.
Yeah, the pace.
What's most important for them to
Pace.
know?
Yeah.
Good. So there are a lot of considerations. Obviously, there are some fluent people who are high tech, and there are fluent people who are low tech, right? And there are some low proficiency English who are high tech. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's this whole combination, and we don't know who's going to come into our classroom, and it's virtual. So there are a lot of issues that we need to try to face, and we can't be perfect. So be patient with yourself in trying to reach your students. But then this gives you just a kind of teeny weeny sense of what it might be like if you're trying to be like on the other side with not a lot going for you. But do recall that there are some people who, you know, like even though they don't speak English even at all, they have a lot of technological experience and can figure out where to poke. And if they see a certain kind of icon, they know that this one is the microphone icon and that one is a camera icon, and they can find out where. So there's really quite a variety of people who we teach. How to manage that? I mean, when you meet your students at first, you will probably slowly find out. I mean, if you ask them to write anything, you can see if they can write sentences or they can type. If you ask them to record their voice, you'll find out if they can find the app, maybe in Canvas, to do that. There are a lot of things that you'll find out. Some things you'll be really surprised about. Now, there was a question that I think is important. There are a couple of questions that I think were important. One of them is, do the students have books? I asked you to bring your book to class. So I was kind of making the assumption that everybody has a book. It may not be your case, but in this case, we were all on a book. And so I would direct you to a certain page or pages of the book. And therefore, as a student, you'd have the opportunity to look at this page and know what it says. And that's different from in this workshop where I sent you a PDF of the page, right? And that was just to facilitate your ability to see what a student might see if they're looking at a book. That's one thing. Obviously, these are activities at different levels. So the one where you had to look at a book and make sentences, obviously you had to have more language than the earlier examples. So I tried to just give you a few examples of what you might consider doing with your students, depending on how low level they are in their listening, and if they know things like right and left and top and bottom. We will usually do that with, you know, a page. So sometimes, you know, some teachers have a rule about write the name of the course in the top left corner, write your name in the top right corner, write the title in the middle on the first line, things like that. And so some of these place words may be important depending on what kind of a class you do. If you do some total physical response, it doesn't have to be involving words that sound similar like bowl and ball. I did that to just show you that it's possible to combine an objective of pronunciation and distinction between minimal pairs and total physical response. You can do it without all of that, right? But this is just an example of how you might use it. Some of you came to my session yesterday that was on using Zoom, the sort of basics of using Zoom. Were any of you there? The reason I mentioned that is because we talked about screen, what you can see on your screen. And does somebody remember what it means to pin the speaker? If you do, unmute yourself and tell us what it means and how to do it.
Yeah, I actually pinned you early on because I was at that session yesterday, Marsha. So I think I hovered over your picture, I clicked on those 3 dots, and then I pinned your video.
Yes. So that is a way to pin the teacher's video. Usually, especially if we're doing a pronunciation exercise and I say, look at my mouth, look at my lips, look at my tongue, and I'm going ball. And you need to see it up close. I can get a lot closer. That's one way, all right? Or you can teach the students how to pin the video. I didn't do that today. I did that in yesterday's lesson. So obviously that not everything can be done in one session. But that would be something that I would advise you to teach students if it's necessary for those sorts of things. The other was generally about how to change from gallery view to speaker view. And that's in the control of each user. So I may be using speaker view and you may be using gallery view, right? A different student has a different view depending on how each one clicks either speaker or gallery, or whether they pin someone. Does that make sense? Okay, so what other questions or comments or suggestions do you have?
Question.
Who's that? Was that Deborah?
Lynn.
Lynn, okay.
Yeah. Would you please post the book? What's the name of the book on the chat?
The book that I'm using here? Okay, this one. So this is English for Childcare. This is the name of this book.
Okay, English for Childcare.
Do you want me
by who?
By Marianne Brims, Julaine Herod Rosner, and Marsha Chan.
Oh, by yourself. Okay, that's easy. Thank you.
That's easy to know? Okay,
yeah.
Sure. And by the way, that book, English for Childcare, is also available in an ebook, which is nice for people who want to just look at it on their screen. The ebook has the audio files embedded. It's an enhanced ebook. Other questions?
Marsha,
yes.
Karina asked if the pin video feature works on a cell phone.
I believe it does. I believe that you can also do that. You have to have good finger control. And I think a lot of people who use phones develop finger motion dexterity. I love this word because it really talks about your fingers, right? Yeah, when you develop the dexterity to move your finger over the right place and find the ... more menus, then usually it comes up in a bigger box, and then you can choose to pin somebody.
What about the view options to increase the screen size as well? Does that work too?
Yes, so you don't really increase any screen size. What you do is you change from speaker view to gallery view. So speaker view, the active speaker is in the big picture, and the other people are all in a row. Now, right now, I'm seeing all the other people in a row at the top of my screen above me because I'm the active speaker at this moment. And there's 6 videos that I see, and I see arrows left and right, and I can go along to see everybody. If I want to see everybody else, I click on either the left or the right arrows to see the other people who are participants. Now, if I want to change into the other view, the gallery view, then I look for the icon on the top right that has, it looks like a grid. So on the top right, there will be something that looks a little bit like this. I mean, it has 9 boxes. And so that is the gallery view. So this is the gallery view. Otherwise, it'll have little boxes at the top and then one big box here, and that's the speaker view.
Okay, I think I was referring to when you're sharing a document to enlarge it. Somebody had said, go to view options and you can enlarge it if it's too small on I'm concerned about most of our students will be using a phone, not a computer.
Right. So if you know your students are using phones, then one of the things that's important is to have something that they can see on a phone, right? Now, I gave you the example of open your book to such and such, but I gave you the handout. But if you're going to type something on a screen, for example, when you're looking at this I'm sharing my video, my PowerPoint with you now. How does that look to you? Is it clearly visible? Some of you have opened your phones, right? Are you? And when you're looking at your phone, you're going to probably hold it horizontally in order to see most of you'll have a better view than if you hold it vertically. So big letters are helpful to let people see better. This on a phone would be quite difficult to see. So this I did this here in order for me to grab this quickly and copy and paste it into the chat. That was my purpose here in this workshop. But if I'm doing this for a class of students and I know that they're on a phone, then I'm gonna do each one of these separately. So I just take this one and say goodbye, and I take this one and I say goodbye, and I take this really big and I will put this in much larger font.
Okay.
Like that. Okay. So for students, this is easier to see on your phone. Right? So that's a very important consideration, is to make everything very big and not put too much on a screen.
I have another little tip related to this, if I could share.
Yes, please do. Who's speaking, please?
This is Kurt Robinson.
Hi, Kurt.
Hi. Can I share my screen for a second?
All righty. Let me stop my share, and then you go ahead and share your screen.
Honestly, this is kind of an experiment. I don't know that this works for everybody, but oh, sorry, it's disabled.
One second. I just changed it so that you can share.
The thing my theory is that you can, sometimes it might be more convenient to just shrink the window rather than enlarging the text. So I'm thinking, for example, here.
Okay, so Kurt, you're going to share something, yeah? Okay.
So here's just a Microsoft Word document. It's in 12-point font, right? So it's probably unreadable on a phone. Is that right? Anybody with a phone?
I think that would be difficult to see on a phone if it's only 12 font.
So if somebody on a phone could tell me, if I do this, if I just grab the window and shrink it down to here without changing font size or anything, does it now become very clear and easy to read on a phone?
So yes. What you've done is you've made the real estate smaller.
Yeah.
And then it fits better into the size of a phone.
Yes, it's easier to see that way.
Mm-hmm. So that's another way. So we have several ways to help a viewer see something more clearly.
Great. Thank you for letting me do that experiment.
Sure, of course. Great. It's good for us to learn from one another. Did I miss anything? Is there anything else in the chat that somebody wrote that I haven't addressed yet? Or do you have any other things that you'd like to add or ask?
I have a question.
Kurt, yes.
So I anticipate having some challenges when I put my students into breakout rooms and I want them to work with some text. So you had us work with a Google Doc. Shy of doing that and shy of students actually having a physical book, what would be some ways of students being able to work with text or see a picture, have anything when they're in their breakout rooms?
Okay. It depends on whether you want them to read. Okay, tell me, do you want them to try to read something that you're providing, or do you want them to type sentences?
It's more the former, even if you just have conversation starters or sentence frames or something you want them to work with.
Yes.
What would be a way of having them see that when they're in a breakout room?
Okay. Do you remember the 4 conversation patterns?
Right.
That I gave you? Now, I just gave you a bunch of them because I just want to say, you know, sometimes you have a multi-level class, right? And you may want to do your breakouts purposefully in those groups, or you may want to say practice conversation 1 and then keep on going, and some groups will get to conversation 4 and other groups will not, right? It just gives them a chance to challenge a little bit. That would be one way. How did I do that? Well, I created them somewhere and I stuck them somewhere, right? So I created them on my, well, they actually come from the book. So like they could look in their book, but if you don't have a book, you just create them. I put them in my PowerPoint and previewed what they are. Then I copied and pasted them and I put them in the chat. If you copy and paste it in the chat, then when they go to the breakout rooms, they can still see that just as you did. Sometimes I've done this before where I tell people they're supposed to do something in a breakout room and then I forget to take it off my PowerPoint and put it in the chat. So that's why this time I made myself a reminder to do that. And then if that happens to you, that means you have to go into each breakout room and then copy and paste, and then you have to go out of the breakout room and you have to go into another breakout room. So I advise you to prepare and put it in the chat for all before you put them in the breakout room. Then they can read it. If it's something like just, maybe it's just a picture. Mine was complicated because it's a picture and had, you know, it had a whole lot of words and it had blanks to fill out and all that. That was because it came from the book, which I assumed that the students had. But if you're just showing them a picture to talk about, you could also send it as a file. Try to make your files not too big, not so colorful and not so many megabytes, because you have to be aware the students will be opening it, say, on their phone. The trouble is if they're opening it on their phone, then it's hard for them to do both, see it on their phone and see what they're supposed to do with it and their friends, right? If you're using it, I mean, teachers now are using a screen so you can move things around more easily. But it's a little bit harder when you have that. So if you, in that situation, if you can, if you're able to send them the picture through Canvas, let's say, beforehand and say, next Tuesday, we will talk about this picture. Download this picture. Print this picture. Bring this picture to class. Then they can look at the picture and talk about it. So that's your preparation, right? You have to do a lot to prepare, especially in this environment where you can't just pass out a handout. But there's so much you can do by putting one up on Canvas and then telling them to download. So, I mean, there's a lot of teaching that needs to be done. If you're working through Canvas, then you have to teach them how to do those sorts of things as well. It's a learning curve. And, you know, it may be steeper for some than others. But those are just some ideas.
Good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, this is Maricel, and my colleague David Olsher is also here from SF State. I work with Shine, and I'm listening because I think if a Shine coach could be very helpful for you, maybe the first couple times with Zoom, but you may clearly the number of ESL groups, small groups, is going to outnumber Shine coaches. But I'm also wondering, David, if one thing that might be useful is a video that shows what it looks like when you leave your teacher and you go to a breakout room. I have seen too many times that the learner thinks the teacher left and they leave class. So this idea, maybe not doing it in Zoom for the first time, it might be useful. So like if you could, and I don't even think Zoom provides you this kind of interesting interface, which our learners need. But if you could watch a teacher like Marsha say, okay, you are now going to see these people, and then it switches, and that you have to wait. And then two other practices that I've seen in other Leslie classrooms are, one, you assign someone to be the Zoom person, and their job is to make sure everybody's mic is on and everybody's web camera is on. And so they're the first ones that learn, please mic, please turn on your mic, please turn on your camera. And then somebody else is monitoring the reading or the Google form or the whiteboard or whatever it has. And actually, I found that the ESL learners really like playing that role, because then they can kind of be teacher, like your mic is on, or someone that I was with a group of teachers from Senegal, and one of them was the noise person, and they were allowed to say, too noisy, too noisy. So it got kind of entertaining as well. I mean, it created its own noise, but at least they were on task.
Yeah, you're right. Giving students responsibilities that they can handle is great. And you probably will take a little time at the beginning to find out which of the students have the facility, both in their ability to speak and maybe in their assertiveness, as well as, their technical skills, and they can be helpful. I mean, just like in a regular class. I don't know if some of you have ever had, a monitor who does attendance and a monitor who closes the windows, and did you ever do that sort of a thing? Because in a real class, if you ever gave jobs to some people, like if you had times where you had groups, and then at the ding of the bell, people are supposed to move, there will be something you can do also, and give them a sense of accomplishment and get your things done. Thanks for sharing. Does anybody else want to share some ideas?
I have a question.
Who's that?
Me, Armin.
Oh, hi, Armin.
Hi. I have a question. It was just about your use of PowerPoint. Is that your preferred? Do you use that for, presenting or writing? Like we use the whiteboard constantly in classroom, and I don't like the whiteboard in Zoom, but you seem to be using PowerPoint.
I'm using PowerPoint a lot because I'm working with teachers, and teachers always want my PowerPoint. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm using a whiteboard, it's a little bit difficult to give them my whiteboard. However, I have a whiteboard. All right. So I have several whiteboards. I have a big one in the back where I can go like this, but I try not to turn away from my students. I mean, you have to sometimes, but this one is a little bit handy. The only thing I don't like about this one is you have to be careful of the glare on the board, and depending on the way I'm putting it, it could be harder or easier. So that means that as I'm using the whiteboard, I have to look at my video to see which angle is going to be the clearest for the audience. So here's another trick. Using paper doesn't have a glare. So have a whole bunch. I have all this scratch paper. Like I'm a writer, I do lots of stuff, I print, and then I have all this stuff, so I use the other side. The other thing is that if you use a different color like yellow, do you notice that it's not so bright? And there is probably easier to see. So get a stack of colored paper. Blue paper is also very good. Because when you write on this, and then, you know, you also want to write with a fat marker. I'm a big writer. I mean, I write big. That's what I mean. And I write clearly. So when I write on the board, I don't scribble. I write clearly so that the students can see what I'm saying. And if I write carefully, I mean, I'm trying to write very carefully so that people will see this. Now notice that this and this looks different, right? Which one is easier for you to see in the audience?
The blue. The blue.
Yeah, so this is easier. Obviously, this one you can use over and over. This one you have to keep on throwing away. So people never ask me for my papers. They ask me for
Right, right.
But in
Thank
real
you.
teaching, I think this is really useful. Just, I don't know about you, but if you've got scratch paper, you can. Otherwise, just get a pile of buff, yellow, blue, and I think it's better. But if you don't have that to start out with, white is okay. Just pay attention to your light. Lighting is very important. And I've seen, you know, this is not really about low tech or anything, but I want to tell you that I've seen a lot of presenters who don't pay attention to lighting. And if you want your students to see you, and you're considering not only are they learning English, but they're trying to see what you're doing. They need to see what you look like when you're speaking. I've seen so many times where people are in silhouette with the lighting coming from behind instead of from the front. So I want to ask you guys, when you're online, to please pay attention to your lighting. Have your lighting come in at a 45-degree angle on two sides if possible. One side, I'm next to a window. I position myself so that the lighting from the window comes in at this angle to me on one side of my face, okay? So it depends on how, you know, like if I'm gonna turn off my light, okay? So do you see I am dark on one side of my face? So if you're doing some kinds of lessons, it doesn't matter. But when you're teaching low-level students, they need all the information possible, right? So I put on this light on this side in order to bring myself in this way. So I recommend that you really pay attention to your situational lighting, right? If I'm teaching at night, obviously my window is gonna not give me much. But if I'm teaching during the day, depending on the brightness of the light, sometimes I close the shade and, you know, sometimes I open part way. Pay attention to that because that will help students. Also, where are you sitting? Some of you show me the tops of your heads. Now, some of you I see like this, okay? Now, if you're teaching like this, then really students can't possibly follow what you're doing, okay? And I see people who are teaching like this, which is like a little too close, a little bit kind of scary. So I recommend that you use this much of your body. I'm a person who uses gestures a lot, especially all the time, but especially with low-level students. A lot of gestures about high and low, wide and narrow, whatever, positions, right? Just think of all the gestures you normally do with your students. How are you showing them what things mean? A lot of times you're using body language. If your body is not visible to them, they're missing a lot. So don't sit too close, because if you're sitting really, really close to your monitor, they're missing out. They can't see what you're doing down here. But if you're sitting this far, they can, think of yourself as your blackboard, right? Your board, your whole performance stage. Think of this piece as your performance stage, and make sure that students can see what you are giving them, what you're offering them with all of your gestures, as well as what's coming on up here and anything that you're offering them here. Also, when you're up too close, then they can't really see what you're doing unless you're going like this. So this distance is good, which may mean that you have to have a keyboard on an extended cable. That's what I do. I don't have my keyboard right up there. I have it on an extended cable because I want this distance. So as we are learning to be better at teaching online and reaching our audience, especially our low-level learners, these are just some tips that you can consider when you're setting up. Now, I know it's been a really long day, so I just want to ask
you so much.
if there's anything else that you would like to ask or contribute.
Marsha, this is Angelica. Do you have any suggestions for some fun lessons to do on the first day? Because we're all like thinking, well, I want the students to build a little bit of community, learn each other's name, have a little bit of fun before they have to do all this tech stuff.
Ah, okay. Well, they're going to have to do some tech stuff on the first day because they have to get into the place, right? So I think at what level are you talking about?
Level 1, 2.
Level 1, 2. So in your level 1, do the students already know some English, or are they?
A little. Level 1 students, almost nothing. Level 2, hopefully will have completed level 1.
This is how level 1 and 2 out of how many?
So in non-credit, we go up to level 9.
1 out of 9. Okay. Well, I just want to get it. Is it 1 out of 3 or is it 1 out of 9? Okay. So you have 9 levels. All right. So just kind of picturing you're kind of like an A1.
Very low level. Think very low level.
So probably you will need to do a lot of practice with mute your mic, unmute your mic, turn on your video, stop your video. Those things are going to take time. I know you guys thought it was kind of silly, but you know what? It's not silly. You're going to have to do that in order to get them familiar with how to control those 2 really important features, right? Then you probably want to have, I don't know that I would try to do breakouts on the first day with low level.
Too hard.
Because don't you think it's like too much? Probably.
Not even for a week or 2.
Yeah, I would say for the first, how often do you meet, by the way?
Every day.
Every day?
Like 1 class 3 times a week, another class 4 times a week.
Okay, 3 or 4 times a week. All right. So you might want to take a week or 2 without anything except for teacher-fronted lessons.
Yes.
First of all, they're used to it, right? Second of all, they're trying to become familiar with this new interface, which is like, maybe. But you know what? Here's another thing. If they have done FaceTime on their phones or Skype, or some other kind of WeChat or whatever, they won't be total zero on technology. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They will probably have more than you know, because they've been staying at home for the same amount of time that we have, and they've been communicating with their family by using video. I'm sure of it. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't be dare to come to class. Don't you think?
Good point.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right? So I think that sometimes we don't give them enough credit, and maybe they'll know more than we are. You know what I'm saying?
Some of
In
them.
terms of being able to move screens around and stuff. So it's quite possible that you're expecting low proficiency in English, but the ability to do to do technical stuff could be a little bit higher than just low basic, right? Has anybody had lessons on this? I mean, you didn't have practice before we all had this stuff in place, right?
I teach at the same place. Well, I taught at the same campus as Angelica. And actually I was teaching level 5 to 8, and I had students between the ages of 20 and 80. And especially the older students, it was incredibly challenging.
Oh, yeah.
So it really, a lot of these things would have been way beyond even those high level students. So I am trying to, like Angelica said, envision this very first day because I don't want to lose them. I want them to feel happy they're there, and I'm teaching a 1-2 anyway.
Here's what I might do. I might do things like this. Prepare pieces like this. What is this? It's a circle. It's a circle. Here's a square. This is a square. The circle is next to the square. And I do a lot of manipulatives. I think this would be helpful. Here's a triangle. Here's a triangle. And, you know, do these sorts of things. And then if you have a magnetic board, you could also do things like this. Here, the circle is below. You know, you could just do these sorts of things too. I would have a lot of manipulatives. I think that using things that are familiar to them or that you want to teach them that are useful, because they're all going to need to know things like line and, you know, the shape names. These are things that we teach our 3-year-olds. So this is something they know. They all have the concept, but they just want to practice the words for them and then put them in certain sentence patterns. And they have objects like that. Everybody's got bowls, right? So if you use objects, then you can do a lot of TPR, right? If they only came, you know, if they will probably have, you can give them and say, now I'm going to give you 3 minutes to go get a bowl and a ball or whatever they are, right? You could say, now everybody go get one. I'll come back here to class in 3 minutes. And then you could do a lot of TPR with them. You can do standing up and sitting down TPR. And that's where you have to have enough space in your teaching location to say, okay, we're going to stand up. Move your arms. Anything like that, right? So those are the sorts of things that you could do to keep them engaged. And if you're teaching words, you can use this, or as I said, you can have words that are on objects, or you could take the objects and put a sticker on it, like when my kid was young, I labeled all the stuff in the house on stickies, right? And then put them right here. So you could do that sort of a thing too, and then take them off. And remember what I did with match the word with the object? So that I did that in PowerPoint. Now, in the PowerPoint, as I showed it to you, I didn't do it in presentation view. Did you notice that?
Yes.
I did it in edit view. And that way I could move that word over to where you told me, you know, which thing matched with the circle. So then you can type in there, actually, like you can ask them questions and you can type in that screen at the same time, as long as you have put your text up to a size which people can see. You can also use the whiteboard. I didn't use the whiteboard today in Zoom. It's a little bit hard to, it's harder for me to manage that than for me to go like this. I kind of like this because for me, it just feels like home. It feels more comfortable that I can.
Marsha, we're starting to run out of time, but Nuala's had her hand up for a long time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Nuala, would you like to say something?
I just had a question. A lot of this you told us as practice students to have space and to have it quiet and to have a bunch of criteria set up. And in the spring, what I found is it's a 1-room apartment with 7 people living in it. And there's no such thing as quiet. There's no such thing as space. I'm wondering what you might have to say about how to manage that.
I'm sorry, I don't have a way to manage 7 people in an apartment.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that is just one of the things that it's good to know whether your students have that space or not. I asked you as a teacher to come in here with that ability. However, I recognize that when I'm teaching students, they may not have that option. And so you have to find workarounds for it. All right, I think it's probably a good time to bring it to a close, to thank you all for your wonderful participation, your engagement, your questions, and your suggestions. And I wish you a very successful start of semester and continuing all the way through. I would also like to invite you to any other of the professional development events that we sponsor at CATESOL. And when you go to catesol.org, you can see a whole list of PD events. And they're free for members and non-members. Some of them are free and some of them are like $2. And so we'd love to see you in any of those sessions as you like. The conference, the state conference, please book it October 8th through the 11th. Some of you may have already submitted a proposal and some of you have not, but you put it on your docket for attendance. It will be spread out over Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All right. Good luck to everybody.